Hello, my story-charmed minions. You know I love getting into the reality-bending stuff here, right? Those topics that make you question everything you thought you knew about how the world works. Well, in this episode, we're venturing into the teachings of Alan Watts and the idea of getting rid of your ego. Now, dumping your ego at the curb isn't going to be the death of you, I promise. Think of it more like shedding a skin you've outgrown. Essentially, Alan Watts, the brilliant philosopher and all-around thought-provoker, argues that this ego we cling to, this idea of a separate self, is actually a total illusion. It's like we're all living in a self-made Truman Show, completely unaware that the walls are just painted backdrops. And this illusion, my friends, is the source of so much unnecessary suffering. It keeps us feeling alienated, anxious, and constantly striving for something outside ourselves, always caught in that if-only loop. If only I was skinnier, richer, had a different job, then I'd finally be happy, right? But what if I told you that true happiness, true freedom, comes from realizing that this separate self is a sham? That the key to unlocking our fullest potential lies in letting go of this illusion and embracing the reality of our interconnectedness with, well, everything. I know what you're thinking. Okay, that's all well and good, but how do we actually dismantle this ego thing? It feels pretty darn real most of the time. That, my friends, is the million-dollar question. And Watts says it's not about doing anything per se, but rather about letting go through a process of observation and surrender. It's about realizing that we are not the thinkers of our thoughts, but the awareness that exists beyond them. Think meditation, mindfulness, really tapping into that space of pure awareness beyond the ego's incessant chatter. It's like becoming a fly on the wall of your own mind, observing your thoughts and feelings without getting swept away by them. So let's explore specific techniques for dismantling the illusion of the self and embracing the beautiful, interconnected reality that awaits us. First, become the watcher. The next time you find yourself spiraling down a rabbit hole of negative thoughts or getting caught in that comparison trap, thanks social media, hit the pause button. Take a few deep breaths and simply observe your thoughts and feelings without judgment. Don't engage. Don't analyze. Just watch them drift by like clouds in the sky. This simple act of observation creates space between you and the ego, allowing you to see it for what it is, a collection of thoughts, not the totality of who you are. Next, embrace the present moment. The ego loves to dwell on the past, replaying old hurts and regrets, or projecting itself into the future, fueled by anxieties and what-ifs. Sound familiar? To loosen the ego's grip, we need to train our attention on the present moment like Yoda warned us to do a long time ago. Think about it. Have you ever noticed how children, those masters of presence, are just naturally joyful? They get lost in the simple act of playing, fully absorbed in the here and now. We can tap back into that childlike wonder by practicing mindfulness in our everyday lives. Focus on your senses, the taste of your morning coffee, the feel of sunshine on your skin, the sound of laughter echoing around you. These simple acts ground us in the present moment where the ego has no power. Now let's explore two more potent techniques for dissolving the ego's grip and reclaiming your true, radiant self. Practice compassion for yourself and others. The ego just loves to divide and conquer, doesn't it? It thrives on comparison, judgment, and the illusion of separation. To weaken the ego's grip, we need to mine its kryptonite, compassion. Start by extending compassion inward. Yes, you heard that right. We often reserve the most scathing criticisms for ourselves. So, the next time that inner critic rears its ugly head, try showering yourself with the same kindness and understanding you would offer a loved one. Replace self-judgment with self-acceptance. Replace self-criticism with self-love. And guess what? As you water the garden of your own heart, compassion for others will naturally blossom. Challenge those knee-jerk judgments that arise when encountering those difficult people. Remember, everyone is fighting their own unseen battles, grappling with their own version of the ego's illusion. Choose empathy over judgment, understanding over separation. Next, connect with something larger than yourself. The ego wants you to believe that you are separate, alone, and ultimately responsible for making everything go right. But deep down, we yearn for something more, a sense of belonging and interconnectedness that transcends our individual lives. This is where spirituality, in whatever form resonates with you, can be incredibly powerful. Whether it's connecting with nature, immersing yourself in creativity, or exploring a spiritual practice, find what helps you tap into a sense of awe and wonder. This might involve meditation, spending time in nature, prayer, acts of service, or simply losing yourself in something you love. Anything that helps you connect with a sense of the sacred, the mysterious, the infinite possibilities that exist beyond the confines of the ego. And there you have it, 4 potent techniques for dismantling the illusion of the ego and stepping into the fullness of who you truly are. There will be moments when the ego roars back to life, and that's okay. Meet those moments with curiosity and compassion and gently guide yourself back to the present moment, back to the heart of your true, radiant self. I can't wait to hear about your own journey of ego liberation. Feel free to share your insights, your struggles, and your triumphs with me and the story-charmed community. While you go mothball that ego in the old storage shed, be well, do extraordinary things, and live a story-charmed life. If you know someone who is interested in leveling up their screenwriting abilities, please share this podcast with them because I've included a link to my Screenwriting Academy and award-winning course in the episode description. Have them stop on by, and I promise to take their writing and storytelling abilities to new heights.